Head and shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. All right, so today we're going to talk runner's knee. When I put out the call for what topic, what injury-related issue you guys wanted me to talk about first, runner's knee was by far the landslide winner. So we're talking runner's knee today, and the first thing that I want to point out, and something that I don't think that everybody always fully understands, is that just because you run, and just because you have pain in your knee, doesn't mean you're dealing with runner's knee. Okay, there's different things that can happen, there's different pains associated with running, and not all of them are runner's knee. So first and foremost, what is runner's knee? The more technical term for what I'm going to be talking about today is iliotibial band syndrome. That's why the first thing that many runners think of when they hear about people having pain in their knee is that their IT band is tight. Your IT band is a long fibrous tissue that runs from your hip all the way down the outside of your leg to your knee. And if it gets tight, it can actually change the way that your kneecap moves up and down when you're running. And then the farther you run, the more irritated your knee gets, hence runner's knee. So what causes ITBS or runner's knee? Well, basically, and it sounds counterintuitive, but the problem, it has nothing to do with your knees. The problem is actually up higher in your hips and in your core. If your hips and your core are not strong enough to do their job, which is to provide stability while you're running, that muscle, the iliopsoas muscle, which is the ilio part of the iliotibial band, has to work harder. Now this is a small muscle that's located deep down in your hip, and when that muscle contracts, it puts a pulling force on your IT band. That's the problem. And because of that tensile force that's being applied to your knee, every time you run, every step you take, your knee isn't quite moving as smoothly as it's supposed to. And it creates an irritation. After literally thousands of steps, tens of thousands of steps, hundreds of thousands of steps after you've been running for weeks and months, that slight irritation continues to get worse and worse and worse. And pretty soon, every time you run, every time you move, you feel it. Now, where is the pain located? Typically, it's on the outside part of the knee, because that's where that grinding, that's where that irritation is taking place. So now that we know what runner's knee is, and we've narrowed down exactly what the cause is, next week we're going to look at two things. One, how to treat it and how to make the symptoms go away. But even more important, two, how to prevent runner's knee from beginning. So make sure you don't miss that episode by clicking the subscribe button at the end of the video, and I'll see you next week when we talk more about runner's knee. Eyes and ears and mouth and nose, head and shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes.